There is a completely free marketing strategy that most people have completely ignored that can 2 or even 3x your business with very minimal impact on what you're currently doing. I'd love to break it all down for you, and at the end of this video, I'll give you some tips on how you can implement this into your business. Let's go. So the strategy that we're going to be talking about today is email marketing. It's utilizing our email list to make more profits and revenue in the business. Now, before you leave this video saying, well, I don't have an email list, so this doesn't apply to me, I've got some training that's going to teach you how to build a huge email list, and then this video will show you how to monetize it properly, because there's a big issue in our marketplace right now. Most people online understand the importance of building an email list, but then the mistake is that they don't do anything with it, and they only focus on what we would call the front end funnels, right? If you are out there on social media trying to find new customers and clients, if you're running paid advertisements, we typically funnel all of that traffic into our sales funnel and just hope that the products and services that we sell out the other end make that a profitable transaction for your business, and then we go again. And we often get stuck in the hamster wheel of trying to make sure that our advertising efforts are profitable against the sales coming in the other side. What we don't realize is that we can be 2xing or even 3xing the revenue in the business and dramatically improving the profit just by utilizing our email list correctly. Having an email list is the closest thing that I've experienced in my 10-year entrepreneurial journey to push button money, okay? There's a lot of scammers out there that will point out that there's a secret system or software that you can just press a button and make some money. Look, we've got common sense. That stuff does not exist. This is the closest thing to that I've ever found. If you build an email list of targeted prospects that are interested in your solution, and you follow up with them correctly, you have a list of people that at the push of a button, you can write one email and it gets blasted out to everybody and sales start coming in. And if you do this right, you will have people on your email list that actually love the fact that you continue to promote new stuff to them and will remain on your list for months and even years to come. Let me break something down for you real quick. When I first started building my business online, I was running some online advertisements, and I was running that into something you're probably quite familiar with, an online sales funnel, which is obviously a series of pages that would lead someone from being a complete stranger to a ready to buy prospect. And the game was, of course, that we can make sure that our advertising is profitable so that we're making sales out the other end. Now, the game that is being played there is a frustrating one if it's not going too well. And that was the case for us, because we were spending, now this is going to sound like a big number, so don't get scared off. This is all relative to wherever you would be at in your business. But we got to a point where we're spending $50,000 on our advertising, and we're recouping out the other end about $60,000. So you might say, well, that seems a bit too close for comfort, and with a few extra expenses like an office building and some staff, you're not actually making any money. And you'd be correct. So we were not in a good place in the business, because yes, we did have at least an additional $10,000 in expenses. And so we're really making no money, but putting all of this effort into the business. Now, what most people would do in this position is they would try to get the 50K down and try to get the 60K up and trying to spread that gap as wide as possible. The issue becomes that it's not that easy, right? You're not going to suddenly overnight turn 50K of ad spend into only 25 and turn 60K worth of sales into 120. It's just not going to happen like that. You might be able to start reducing your costs from 50 to maybe 45, and maybe increase the revenue from 60 to 65. So we're bridging that gap a little bit more, but it's not something that's really moving the needle in a big way. Insert our email marketing. And this is exactly what we did all the way along. We were building this massive email list. The first step in our sales funnel is that someone must opt in, give us their name and their email address, and then that would go onto our autoresponder or our CRM. There's loads of options in that arena. You've got our own software that we launched called Funneler. You've got MailChimp, you've got ActiveCampaign and Infusionsoft. There's a whole bunch of options, but those leads then go and sit in a CRM. That is the place where you can organize those leads and send mass emails to everybody. So one day I was sat on YouTube getting lost in the YouTube rabbit hole, watching video after video, and a video popped up about email marketing. And the gentleman that I was watching, this was many, many years ago now, was talking about the importance of sending emails to your list and staying present in their inbox. And so I thought, you know what, screw it. Let's take quick action here. Let's plan a promotion to the people that I have on my list. And so I did just that. I put a new little sales page together, very simple, and I planned a 5-day email sequence that I would send out to these people right here. And I'll spare you all of the details, and I'm going to round off the numbers, but that promotion did for us about 40,000 in sales, and we did that over a 5-day period. So now what we're looking at is we're looking at 50,000 in spend, and we're looking at a combined 100,000 returned in that particular month. So not only is the business now 2 to 1, not only are we far more profitable, but what we were doing with our email list was actually pure profit. And ever since discovering this, I've become obsessed with email marketing and best practices, and it's completely taken the pressure off the front end business. In fact, we can afford to pay more for traffic than most of our competitors because we have such a strong back end with our email marketing that we basically win all the traffic we could ever want on the internet. And me and my team have continued to get better and better and better at this. And the best month we've ever had was $549,000 in additional revenue in a single month from our email marketing efforts. And now I want to teach you how you should be implementing this into your business, no matter whether you have an email list of only 100 people right now, or you have an email list of 100,000 people. There is a framework that you should all be following, and I'm going to share it with you now. So first things first, biggest tip, I need you to write this down. You must email your list at least once a week. If you neglect your list because it feels to you right now like it's too small, it's insignificant, there's no point, right? You've got 100 people on the list and you think, it's just not a big enough deal right now. I'll wait to focus on my email marketing when my list gets to 1,000 people or 2,000 people. You'll be making a huge mistake. Why? Because by the time you get there and start emailing those people, most of them have forgotten who the heck you are, and your efforts are going to be for nearly nothing, right? So if you stay front and center with your list from the very beginning, and you get in the habit of communicating with them and sending them something so that they recognize your name in their email inbox, then as your list grows, when you get to that list of 5,000 people, now it's 5,000 people that know you, trust you, like you, and when you send that email, you'll get some outrageous results. So first, most important point, communicate with your list on a regular basis. But now let's get more specific. Let's look at the tactics here. Let's imagine, now this is going to be an awful drawing, so you're going to have to forgive me here. But let's imagine what you're looking at represents a calendar month, okay? Every single month, you should obviously be sending multiple emails to your list, but I've really got 3 categories of emails that I send to my list. In fact, there's actually 4 categories. The first is empty space. That's the one that I almost forgot there. The empty space is when you just leave your list alone and you don't email them at all. To represent that, we're going to leave that particular box completely blank. Then we've got content. And content is where there is no promotion. There's nothing that you're trying to gain from that particular email other than just staying front and center, providing some value to the list and making sure that they remember who you are. There is absolutely nothing for sale in those particular content emails. That could be just a written email that provides some value. It might be an email that sends them off to your YouTube channel. It might be an email that tells them about a most recent podcast episode. It's an email with the intention of sharing with them some content that's going to be valuable and helpful. We'll represent that one with red. And then once a month, we will do a big promotion. This is where we would email the list every single day for a period of about 7 days. And over the course of those 7 days, we might be doing a new live webinar. We might be promoting a new sales page. We might be doing a nice challenge. There will be something that we'll be doing that's new and exciting for the list, but promotes one of our products at the same time. This is going to be your main moneymaker from the list in any given month. And we're going to represent that one on our calendar in just a moment as green. And the final category is mini promotions. This is where we might email the list on a random day, maybe a couple of days together. That's just no big promotion. It's not a webinar. It's not something that's extravagant. It might just be that sales are down of one of your products that particular month and you just want to boost your sales a little bit. We might email out to the list and see if anyone is interested. Or maybe you have a sales team and they've got some space on their calendar to speak to some new prospects. So maybe you send out the odd email that just invites a few people to have a chat with you. We'll represent that one with blue. So now let's take a look at my awful drawing of a calendar month and let's start filling this out. Let's start with a big promotion. We're going to think about this as an internal team and we're going to start planning what could this be, how would it look, and there's far more than I could cover right now in this video, but let's just get it onto the calendar. So let's say we're going to promote it for the beginning of the month. We had a promo planned, maybe we're going to go one extra day and we're doing a live webinar and we're going to promote something out the other end. Then what we would likely do is leave the list alone for a few days. We've emailed them every single day for 7 or 8 days. And so we're going to pull back a little bit and we might not email them anything for about 3 days. Then we're going to have a mixture of sending them content and also leaving them alone. And we're going to just mix these two in together. So content was red. So maybe we're going to leave them alone for 3 days. Then we're going to send them for a couple of emails, a nice content piece. For us, it's typically sending them right here to our YouTube channel to check out the content that we've got on this channel. So then we might leave them alone for a day, might send them another piece of content, leave them alone for another day, and send them another piece of content. And this combination of going days without emailing them and going days where we just send them content is almost reviving the list again a little bit after we went pretty hard on a promotion. Now, if you do your promotions correctly, your list should really like it. You should be selling something, but through a vehicle where you're still providing value, like a webinar or something like that. But regardless, we emailed them a lot over a series of days, so we're going to just leave them alone and provide some content. Then we might do a little mini promotion. So we might say, actually, we've got this little sales page. Sales are down of one of our products, so we're going to do a mini promotion right there. And then you probably understand the theme from here. Now we're going to leave them alone a little bit. We might send them some content there, leave them alone, bit of content. Maybe another little mini promotion right here. And then maybe we'll finish off with a bit of content in that final week. So you can kind of see there that this isn't an exact mirror of what our promotional calendar would look like down to the day, but this is going to give you a really, really good idea there. Take note of how many blank spaces there are. That's when you leave the list alone. We've got our big promotion up front, and then we've got some sprinkled in content and maybe a couple of mini promotions over the course of the month. Now, some of you might be saying, John, that actually sounds like a lot of emails. Aren't you going to start to pee people off? Are they going to not like this? Are they going to unsubscribe? And the answer is some people, yes, right? There are people on your list that emailing this many times is going to have them saying, this is a bit too much for me, I'm going to unsubscribe. But you know what? There's people on the other side. There's people that want to hear from you on a frequent basis. They want to know when you have new products, and they only really buy stuff when you make them aware of it. And so on the complete opposite side, you've got people that would like to hear from you more frequently. I've got people in the industry that I look up to, that I admire, and I actually quite like knowing what products and promotions and things they've got going on. And so I find it weird if I don't hear from them for a week. I actually get used to seeing their name in my email inbox, and every now and again they get my attention and I open one of those emails. So you've got a decision to make. Do you want to prioritize your efforts for the people who are unsubscribing and not buying stuff? Or do you want to prioritize your efforts towards the people that are buying stuff and would like to hear from you? This would be the smarter decision, knowing that you're going to lose some of these people along the way. Because what's your other option? Your other option is you say, well, I'm emailing too much, so I'm not going to email anything for a whole month, or I'm going to only email a couple of times. Well, then you're going to make no money, and having your email list is completely pointless anyway. Now, of course, to make all this money and get these results from your email list, you first need an email list. The best way to start building your own profitable email list is by using something called a lead magnet, and I want to teach you exactly how to put one together. There's a video up here where I'll show you step by step what you need to do to create an amazing lead magnet that has people opting in and joining your list. So go ahead, check out that video. I hope you find it helpful, and do me a favor, hit the thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it, if it was helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We put out great new content every single week. I'll see you soon.